Hey everyone, Eugene here, back again, this time with a, I was going to call it a perfume review, but don't want to offend anyone, so we'll call it a fragrance review. I don't like using the word cologne because it's only really used in North America. The rest of the world does call this perfume, but for this video, we'll call it a fragrance. So this is Nautica Voyage from the clothing brand Nautica, which was huge when I was in grade 8, you know, in high school, very popular. They were making jeans and t-shirts and windbreakers. I can't remember if they had their sneaker line or not, but then they branched out into fragrance and we got Nautica, and I think this is the face of the franchise, and now they got a whole whack of flankers. I've never really been into the brand or the flankers, so I'm not sure how many of them are out there, but as the name implies, and the juice color, you can see it's totally an aquatic. And you know, ever since Armani, you know, exploded the scene with Acqua di Gio, aquatics just made a huge trend on the market. You know, you've gone from your 80s, your very heavy masculines, your Fahrenheits, and your Paco Rabanne Pour Hommes. You're going from Acqua di Gio to your Bulgari Marines and Nautica Voyages, but everything about this, yeah, it does imply an aquatic. Even the bottle shape and the theme they've got, just looking at the back of this bottle, I'm not sure if you can see it, I'll show you the bottom here. It's got this nice curvature to it. It feels really good in the hand, but just studying the bottle and thinking like what inspired them to make this bottle. It's a really nice bottle, you know, it's very heavy in the hand, it feels good, it's comfortable. I really like the bottle, but the back of here totally reminds me of, you know, the sail on the ship that's being pulled by the wind. You know, it does have that nice touch to it. And just looking at the cap here, the cap it's a metal cap. From what I understand, this has been reformulated. The reformulations have a plastic cap. So that's how you'll be able to tell this is a metal cap. So that's how you'll be able to tell the vintage. It's got the nice Acqua di Gio, Nautica Voyage there. And just looking at this, just trying to figure out like what inspired them to make this. It kind of looks like a cleat, something you'd see on the dock where you tie your boat up to. Not sure what else it could possibly be. I'd love to know. If somebody knows, leave it in the comment below, because I'm really curious. I love studying the bottle art and trying to figure out what inspired them and the history or whatever has gone into the bottle. But I really do like this bottle, and this is definitely a very affordable fragrance. I've got this for $15 Canadian, so that's like 10 bucks US, and you can't go wrong if you're looking for a summer staple. Not something that I would typically endorse as, you know, I don't want to say it's very interesting, but it's not horrible either. And after accepting a friend's challenge of wearing this 7 days in a row, which I have, I've worn this every day for 7 days in a row. I've changed my mind a lot on this, and I can no longer bash it. I mean, I'm not going to say it's the greatest thing ever, because it's not, but it's definitely a well-made perfume. So Maurice Roussel, I think this was 2006, so that would make it 12 years on the market. It does have kind of like, geez, I don't like to use the word synthetic here because synthetic implies cheap, and that's not always the case, but there are some synthetic vibes to this, some synthetic qualities, but it's definitely not as cheap as I had originally thought it to be. I think generic is a better term. It does have generic vibes to it, so it's supposed to be very oceanic and smell very watery, like, you know, being out at the sea with, I think green apple is a note to add it some sourness, and there's some florals, some spices, and musk. And what I get from this is I definitely get the oceanic, the aquatic vibes, the very clean, fresh, fruity aspects to this. I don't necessarily get that green sour apple. I mean, there's been instances where I thought, okay, maybe I can pick it up, and that's probably just because I was able to read it from a note pyramid. But to me, it's mostly a fruity, nondescript, generic type of thing. And if I had to guess, I'd say it's some kind of salty watermelon. I do get some salt from this, and a melon accord. It could be watermelon, it could be, I don't know, cantaloupe sounds crazy, but it's definitely some kind of, it's some kind of melon. And along with that, I get, I want to say it's a nice blast of black pepper in the opening. And, you know, there's some florals in here, and it's not very, it's not feminine at all. It's more florals. So the fragrance is very clean and sharp, and it almost has a metallic vibe to it. Let me put some on. You know, at $15 a bottle, I can afford to spray away as much as I want. So it's very clean and fresh, and it's got that fresh, clean linen vibe to it. And it's not offensive at all. It's totally versatile. And more so, seasons I would say are the warmer seasons. I wouldn't bother or even, you know, waste 8 hours wearing this in the wintertime. You know, even though you can, it's just not something that would interest me much. But I think the florals in here are just kind of to offset or round out those sharp edges and bring the whole thing together. But I was saying it's not the most interesting thing, because I kind of find this like almost a two-dimensional perfume. It doesn't really go outside of 2 notes at one time like a lot of niche or designer exclusives go, but you can't really expect that from a $15 perfume. You know, so it's like you'll get lemon or melon, sorry, and aquatics, or you'll get spice and aquatics. It's also got like a little bit of a herbal vibe to it. I'm not sure where that's coming from. You know, I'm not saying that there's lavender, or it could be a spice, an herbal spice, but it's very faint and in the background. But it does have that blue tinge to it. It's definitely in the blue family, way before, you know, Bleu de Chanel or Sauvage came out. And in the base, I get a lot of musk. It's a very thick, like thick is perfect. That's the perfect word. Oh, there's a nice plane coming, one of these boat planes. I'm not sure what these are called, but I thought the setting would be perfect for this video. So it's got a thick musk that I feel is like the carrying agent for this whole fragrance. So I kind of mentioned it was cheap before. It's I don't want to say cheap. I don't like that word for this. I don't want to associate this with cheap. It's more generic, but I gotta say at the same time, as generic as it is, I did enjoy wearing it for 7 days, even though there's twice where it kind of gave me a headache, and you know, one was a really bad migraine, and I can't say for sure if it was the fragrance or if it was just really hot and humid out, which this is perfect for, like absolutely perfect for the humidity. The performance is absolutely outstanding. Like for those hot and humid days that are above 40, or I think that's 100 in Fahrenheit for my American friends, this stuff shines. It lasts all day, and the evaporation curve on this is absolutely amazing. I've never met anything that evaporates and lasts longer on my skin than Nautica Voyage, which is a huge feat considering it's $15. So it seems like the more humid it is and the more you sweat, the more this stuff just bounces right off of the skin. It's totally relentless. It lasts, you know, easily 10 hours for me. I had absolutely no issues with that whatsoever. But I wanted to say, going back to the cheap and generic, I really like the way it's crafted. It feels to me like it's a very good blend. The perfumer did a fantastic job, because I don't really find it like spotty or lacking anywhere in just the craftsmanship feels really like it's nicely blended, regardless of what's gone into it. You can tell the perfumer did a good job and spent a lot of time or took care making this. Anyway, I don't know what else I can really tell you. For $15, you can't go wrong. There was one time where I thought this is the, the biggest piece of junk ever. Christo had this in his Sacco shit video that we've done a couple years ago. It was just two of us being really arrogant and immature. Because ultimately, there's no shitty perfumes. Every perfume does have its purpose. But as always, let us know your thoughts on Nautica Voyage. Are you a niche head? Do you appreciate Nautica Voyage? Are you a niche head? Do you think it's a piece of shit? Let us know in the comments below. I've definitely changed my mind. After wearing it for 7 days in a row, though, I'm going to probably put this away. There's no way I want to spend another 10 hours or 1 day with this. I do definitely want to wear the rest of my fragrances, but I'll be sure to reach for it next year when it's 40 and above, and it's absolutely sweltering for, because that's when this is perfect. And that's when this really shines, is in that really hot weather. Anyway, I want to thank you all for watching and sticking around and commenting down below. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe for more videos. Anyway, thanks, and we'll see you again.